There is a gentle power within that longs to remind the heart of something beautiful, that joy is not a prize we must earn, but a natural state that belongs to us from the very beginning. It may have been forgotten through the noise of worry, the weight of responsibilities, or the ache of disappointment. But underneath all that, joy is still there, soft, patient, waiting to be chosen again. Life always gives us moments to return to it. When fear rises like a wave and whispers of what could go wrong, joy stands quietly behind it, whispering back, "You are safe. You are loved. You can trust life again." There are times when fear feels more familiar than peace. The mind learns to expect the worst, to brace for pain before it even arrives. But choosing joy is like turning towards sunlight after standing too long in the shade. The body begins to soften, the breath deepens, and something within starts to hum with new energy. Joy doesn't mean everything is perfect. It simply means that within whatever exists, you are willing to see the light. When you make that small choice, even for a moment, you send a signal to your whole being. I am ready to live with trust instead of tension. This choice may seem small, yet it shifts everything. Fear closes the heart, tightens the chest, and shuts down creativity. Joy, on the other hand, opens the door to life's flow. It allows energy to move freely, guiding ideas, relationships, and healing to where they are needed. Every time you choose joy, you open a new channel of possibility. You stop fighting against what you don't want and begin to welcome what you do. The truth is, joy and fear cannot live in the same breath. One expands, the other contracts. When you inhale joy, fear dissolves. When you hold fear too tightly, joy cannot enter. So let this moment be gentle. Let it be a breath of forgiveness for all the times you let fear rule the day. There is no blame in it, only learning. The Spirit is always patient. Each thought of joy, each word of kindness, each soft breath of gratitude begins to call back the life you truly desire. You may say quietly to yourself, I am open to joy. I am willing to see good where I once saw fear. These words are more than affirmations. They are keys that unlock new worlds of peace within the self. Joy is magnetic because it aligns you with the natural rhythm of life. Just as flowers turn toward light without questioning the process, your inner being turns toward joy naturally when fear is released. You don't have to force it, you only need to allow it. This allowing begins when you understand that both joy and fear are forms of energy that you can recognize and choose between. Every emotion carries a vibration. Fear is heavy, it sits low, pulling the spirit down. Joy is light, it rises, lifting everything it touches. The difference between the two is not moral or right versus wrong. It is simply a difference in frequency. Fear limits the view, it creates walls. Joy expands vision, allowing you to see beyond the problem into the possibility. When you start to notice how you feel as you think, you begin to realize you have far more power than you once believed. The mind is not a master, but a servant of the spirit. It follows the tone of your inner voice. When that tone is gentle and loving, life begins to mirror that energy back to you. The body listens closely to every thought. It reacts to the emotions you hold most often. Fearful thoughts can make the stomach tighten, the shoulders tense, or sleep restless. Joyful thoughts relax the muscles, steady the breath, and open the heart. You can feel it, that warm, safe sense when you are in alignment with yourself. Joy doesn't just feel good emotionally, it nourishes the physical body too. It strengthens immunity, calms the mind, and fills the air within you with harmony. The cells respond to joy as though they are receiving sunlight after a long winter. Notice this connection. The mind influences the body, and the body influences the mind. When you think thoughts of love, your body feels safe. When your body feels safe, your thoughts become peaceful. This is how healing begins. not through great effort, but through gentle awareness. You can begin right now by placing a hand over your heart and softly breathing into it. With each breath, think of something, anything, that brings warmth to your spirit. Maybe the quiet of morning, a kind word, or the feeling of belonging to life itself. This simple act begins to shift energy from fear to joy. But fear often disguises itself. It can wear many masks: worry, doubt, guilt, even perfectionism. These are subtle forms of fear pretending to protect you. They say, if I worry enough, nothing bad will happen. Or, if I do everything perfectly, I'll finally feel safe. But these thoughts only create exhaustion. They feed the illusion that peace must be earned. The truth is, peace already exists inside you, beneath those layers of fear. You can begin to recognize fear by how it feels. Fear tightens. It says, what if, and not enough. It speaks quickly, sharply, often with urgency. Joy, however, is slow and gentle. It says, all is well. It feels like warmth spreading softly through the chest. When faced with a decision, pause and ask yourself, is this thought born from love or from fear? You will feel the answer before you hear it. There is no need to fight fear. Fighting it only gives it more energy. Instead, acknowledge it with kindness. Say, I see you, fear. I understand you are trying to protect me, but I am choosing joy now. In that moment, the energy shifts. Fear loses its grip, and the door opens for peace to enter. Each time you choose a loving thought over a fearful one, you strengthen new pathways in your mind. These pathways become your new normal. They lead you toward calm, clarity, and inspiration. The more you practice this, the more natural it feels. It becomes second nature to pause and breathe rather than react in panic. Choosing joy is not about ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It's about acknowledging that beneath every challenge lies an opportunity to return to love. It's choosing to look for light even when clouds gather. It's saying, yes, this may be difficult, but I will not let fear control my spirit. When you do this, life begins to respond differently. Circumstances start to align with your calmness. People treat you with the same kindness you extend to yourself. Joy is not somewhere in the future waiting for perfect conditions. It lives in the now, in the space between one breath and the next. You can practice it when you wake up by placing your hand on your heart and saying softly, today, I choose joy. You can practice it while you walk, while you drink water, while you notice the colors of the sky. Every time you do, you anchor yourself in the present, the only place where joy truly lives. At first, this may feel unfamiliar. The mind may resist, saying, but I have so much to worry about. That's all right. Just notice those thoughts and gently return to your affirmation. Joy doesn't demand denial of problems. It invites faith in solutions. Life flows toward the energy of joy because joy is life's language. Fear tells you to control. Joy tells you to trust. Fear shrinks. Joy expands. When you understand that you can choose between the two, you take back your power. No one outside of you decides which emotion you live in. That freedom is yours, always. As you continue choosing joy, you may notice subtle miracles. Things that once felt heavy begin to lighten. Solutions appear with ease. People who match your peace are drawn into your world. This is the magnetic nature of joy. It does not chase, it attracts, it aligns, it harmonizes. You might begin each morning by sitting quietly and asking your heart, what would bring me joy today? Then listen, not with the mind, but with the soft feeling that rises inside. It might say, rest more, or take a walk, or let go of that worry. Follow it gently. That is your intuition speaking, and it always leads toward peace. As the day unfolds, notice how your energy feels. If you sense fear tightening your breath, pause and return to the present. Take one deep breath and affirm, "In this moment, I choose peace. I choose joy." That one breath resets the body and rewrites the story the mind is telling. You are learning to be your own safe space. You are training your thoughts to serve your well-being. Each time you return to joy, you teach your body that it can relax, that it can trust life again. Healing does not come through pushing, but through softening. When fear rises again, as it sometimes will, see it as an old visitor. Thank it for reminding you how far you've come, and then kindly guide it to the door. Fear may knock, but it cannot stay in a heart that has chosen joy. The more you live this truth, the more you will feel how powerful your energy is. Joy becomes your natural state, not because life has become easier, but because your perception has become gentler. You start to feel the presence of love in everything, in silence, in laughter, in the smallest daily moments. This is the quiet transformation that changes everything. It is not loud, not dramatic, but deeply real. Joy does not need to prove itself. It simply radiates. And as it radiates, your life begins to reflect it back, through peace, through connection, through a sense of divine timing that always feels just right. The energy of joy is the song your soul has been humming all along. It is not a lesson to learn, but a remembering, a return to truth, a soft whisper that says, "Life loves me, and I am safe." And in that love, you become magnetic. Joy is not a faraway dream. It's a choice that can be made in the simplest moments of life. Every morning offers a quiet invitation to choose joy over fear, peace over worry, and trust over control. It may seem small, yet this is where transformation begins. The mind often waits for the right circumstances to feel joy, but joy does not depend on circumstances. It is a seed already planted within, waiting for your attention to help it grow. When you start to understand that joy is a daily practice, something begins to shift inside. You begin to see that joy is not about pretending that nothing is wrong, but about creating a safe place within where peace can exist even when things are uncertain. Life responds to your inner tone. When you live with an energy of appreciation, you invite harmony. When you live in resistance, you invite struggle. Joy is the bridge that carries you from one to the other. This practice can begin very simply. As you wake in the morning before thoughts rush in, place your hand gently on your heart and breathe deeply. Feel your chest rise and fall. Feel the rhythm of life moving through you. Whisper softly, "I choose joy today. I trust that life supports me." These words set the tone for your day, not through magic, but through alignment. They remind your mind to look for the good rather than the fear. Joy doesn't require perfection. It grows through presence. You can practice it by noticing small things, the warmth of sunlight through a window, the quiet kindness of a stranger, the steady beat of your own heart. Each of these moments invites you to pause and feel gratitude. Gratitude opens the heart, and the open heart becomes the home of joy. There may be days when joy feels distant, when the mind insists that fear is more real. On those days, be gentle with yourself. Say softly, "It's okay for me to start again." Sit with your breath and let your body relax into trust. Every time you do this, you are training your nervous system to associate safety with calm, not chaos. The more often you practice, the easier it becomes to return to joy naturally, even when life feels uncertain. Choosing joy daily doesn't mean ignoring fear. It means acknowledging it and still choosing peace. When you notice worry, do not fight it. Simply notice it and then redirect your attention to what brings you back to the present moment. It could be the feeling of your breath, the sound of birds, or a simple prayer that reminds you, I am safe now. As joy becomes a habit, your life begins to unfold with more ease. You find yourself smiling without reason, feeling lighter, sensing that there is something greater guiding you. This is not illusion, it is alignment. You are tuning your energy to the natural frequency of love. And when your energy shifts, everything around you shifts to match it. That is the quiet power of choosing joy. There is also a beautiful science to this. The body mirrors what the mind believes. When you think joyful thoughts, your body releases hormones that heal and restore balance. The heart rate slows, breathing deepens, and the muscles loosen. You feel safe, open, alive. But when fear dominates, the body tenses, breath shortens, and life begins to feel like a series of small battles. The mind-body connection is not an idea. It is the language of energy that flows through every cell of your being. Joy is medicine for the soul and the body alike. It calms the storm that fear creates. It soothes the nervous system, strengthens immunity, and sharpens intuition. When you smile, even softly, your brain sends signals throughout the body saying, all is well. These signals begin a cascade of healing, restoring you to your natural state of harmony. You can practice this consciously. When you notice fear creeping in, stop and take one gentle breath. Then place your hand on your heart and say to yourself, I deserve to feel joy. Let those words sink in. Feel the truth of them. You do not have to earn joy. It is your birthright. The body remembers this truth when you give it permission to relax. Sometimes joy hides beneath layers of fear, waiting to be uncovered. Fear tells you stories, that you're not ready, that you'll fail, that something terrible will happen. These are old echoes of pain, not predictions of your future. You have the power to transform fear into wisdom by listening without judgment. When fear arises, ask it softly, what are you trying to show me? Often, fear simply wants to be acknowledged, to know that you are listening with love. When you approach fear with compassion, it begins to lose its grip. You realize that every fear carries a hidden message, perhaps a need for rest, a call for trust, or a reminder to set boundaries. Fear is not your enemy. It is a teacher in disguise. It reveals where love still needs to be offered. You can begin to see fear differently when you stop labeling it as bad. It is simply energy asking for direction. When you meet it with patience, you shift from reaction to response. The moment you say, I choose to see this differently, you begin to reclaim your power. You become the observer of your thoughts rather than their captive. Try this gentle reflection. Write down the fears that repeat in your mind. Beneath each one, write, what is this fear teaching me? Maybe it teaches patience, maybe self-trust, maybe forgiveness. As you write, you begin to see that fear has been pointing you toward growth all along. This awareness transforms your relationship with yourself. You begin to notice when fear tries to disguise itself as overthinking, control, or self-criticism. Instead of resisting it, you pause, breathe, and send it love. In that moment, you stop feeding fear with attention and start nurturing peace with understanding. When you turn fear into an ally, joy becomes easier to access. You realize that joy is not about avoiding discomfort, it's about holding light in the presence of it. Joy becomes your inner compass, guiding you toward what nourishes your spirit and away from what drains it. Life supports this process. Each challenge that once frightened you becomes a new opportunity to practice love. You begin to trust that there is purpose even in uncertainty. You stop seeking control and start cultivating faith. The body relaxes, the mind quiets, and joy flows freely once more. You can affirm throughout the day, I release fear and welcome joy. Say it when you wake up, when you feel doubt, when you lie down to rest. These words are gentle reminders that you are not bound by fear's illusion. You are guided by the strength of your own peace. Joy expands wherever attention is given. When you choose to see fear as a teacher and joy as your natural state, you begin to live from a higher energy. You become more patient, more compassionate, more alive. Even small actions begin to reflect this. The way you speak, the way you move, the way you meet the world with grace instead of resistance. There is something truly powerful about living this way. When fear no longer rules your thoughts, you stop reacting from old wounds. You start responding from wisdom. You feel a quiet knowing that life is unfolding perfectly, even if you can't yet see how. That is the magic of trust. That is what it means to transform fear into light. In the stillness of your heart, there is always a choice, fear or joy. One drains your energy, the other replenishes it. One keeps you small, the other opens the door to infinite possibility. You may say softly now, I choose joy. I trust that I am guided. I allow love to lead my way. These words carry energy. The more you repeat them, the more your body begins to believe them. And when the body believes, the universe aligns to match your vibration. Joy then becomes effortless, flowing through you like sunlight through clear water. You have the power to choose joy again and again, no matter what life brings. Each moment offers another chance to begin. You don't need to wait for the world to change before feeling peaceful. Peace begins within you, and through you, it spreads to others. As you live this truth, you will notice the shift. Life starts to mirror your joy. The air feels lighter, your thoughts become kinder, and your experiences grow richer. This is not fantasy. It's the law of energy. You become magnetic, not because you chase, but because you radiate. And in that quiet radiance, life meets you with grace. Joy has a way of multiplying when shared. When you live with a heart that chooses joy, everything around you begins to respond to that vibration. Life starts to open in unexpected ways because joy is magnetic. It draws in harmony, opportunity, and love without force. It does not chase, demand, or grasp. It simply shines. When you are in joy, you are in alignment with the natural rhythm of the universe, and that rhythm attracts to you everything that matches your peace. The energy of joy communicates silently. It moves through your words, your gestures, your presence. Others can feel it, even without you saying a single thing. It's that calm sense of being that makes people feel safe around you, the quiet confidence that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. This is the magnetism of joy. It brings together all that belongs to you without struggle. Joy does not need to be loud or grand. It can be soft, like the warmth of morning light. It can be steady, like the rhythm of your breathing. The more you practice it, the more it becomes your natural frequency. You begin to notice synchronicities, small signs that the universe is responding to your peace. You might think of someone, and they call. You might wish for guidance, and the answer comes through an unexpected message or thought. Joy opens the path for divine timing to move through you. When the energy of joy flows freely, it creates a field of attraction around you. The heart emits a powerful electromagnetic frequency that expands when you are grateful, loving, or joyful. Science confirms what the spirit has always known. Joy is power. It doesn't force, it invites. It doesn't compete, it harmonizes. You can strengthen this magnetic field by gently repeating, My joyful energy is a magnet for miracles. Say it slowly, with love, until you feel your body soften. These words remind your mind of the truth. You are already connected to abundance. The more you focus on what uplifts you, the easier it becomes for blessings to find you. As you live this truth, you begin to see how joy is not separate from gratitude. They move together like breath and heartbeat. Gratitude deepens joy, and joy magnifies gratitude. When you give thanks for what you have, you invite more to be thankful for. Gratitude shifts the focus from what is missing to what is already here, creating a sense of contentment that glows from within. A simple practice can help you nurture this. Each evening before resting, think of 3 things that brought light to your day. They don't need to be grand, perhaps a comforting meal, a kind word, or the beauty of the sky. Feel that appreciation settle into your body like a warm blanket. Gratitude, practiced daily, roots you in joy's frequency. As you do this, you'll find yourself becoming more aware of small blessings that once went unnoticed. You'll begin to see life itself as a miracle, a continuous expression of love supporting you in countless ways. You'll feel lighter, clearer, more alive. You'll start to sense that the more you give thanks, the more peace finds you. When you say to yourself, "Each moment of gratitude multiplies my blessings," you are affirming a universal law. Energy expands where attention goes. The more you appreciate the present, the more joy flows naturally through you. Gratitude becomes a bridge between your human self and your divine essence, reminding you that abundance is not something to chase, it is something to recognize. As this awareness grows, you'll begin to live with a calm strength. Your happiness will no longer depend on what happens outside of you. You will learn to live from the inside out, anchored in joy, regardless of outer circumstances. Joy that depends on conditions is fragile. It rises and falls with every change. But true joy comes from within. It is not tied to weather, people, or success. It comes from an inner knowing that all is well, that life is working for you, not against you. When you stop expecting the world to make you happy and begin cultivating happiness from within, you discover freedom. This freedom does not mean you stop feeling sadness or pain. It means you learn to hold them gently, knowing they are temporary visitors in the house of your peace. Joy remains the foundation. Even when tears come, joy is beneath them, a quiet reassurance that healing is happening. You may find that life becomes easier when you stop trying to control every detail. Trusting life allows joy to breathe. When you let go of forcing outcomes, the universe can move in its natural wisdom. It always knows the best way to lead you toward fulfillment. When the mind wants to judge or compare, bring it back to the heart. Say softly, "Joy is my compass. I allow it to lead me." In that moment, you stop resisting and start flowing. You begin to feel that peace is not something you need to seek, it's something you choose. The more you choose joy, the more you live from the truth of who you are. You become a light in the world, not because you try to shine, but because you can't help but glow. Joy becomes your nature, your language, your way of being. It is beautiful to realize that life was never meant to be a struggle. We were not created to live in fear, but to express love. And joy is love in motion. It is the divine saying through you, "I am alive. I am grateful. I am free." So let joy be your prayer. Let it be your practice. Let it be your quiet revolution against fear. When the world seems uncertain, return to the stillness inside. There, joy waits. It has never left. You might whisper now, "I choose joy over fear. Life loves me, and I am safe. My joy creates ripples of light in the world." As you speak these words, feel them resonate in your heart. Feel them calm your breath, ease your mind, and awaken your soul. You are not separate from joy. It is your essence. Each time you turn away from fear, you return to your natural state of harmony. This is the quiet miracle of living with awareness. And as you live in this awareness, you become magnetic to all that is good. You draw in peace, abundance, love, and healing. Not because you are chasing them, but because you have become their reflection. You have learned to listen to your heart's wisdom, to trust the flow of life, and to find beauty even in imperfection. This is true mastery, not control, but surrender to the rhythm of joy. So go forward gently, carrying this truth like a light in your heart. Every time you choose joy, you heal something within you and in the world. Every time you offer gratitude, you invite more grace. Every time you trust life, life trusts you in return. And as you continue walking in this light, may you always know, joy is not something you chase, it is something you allow. You have always been enough. You have always been loved. You have always been whole. Let this be your truth now and always. Life loves you, and joy will forever guide your way.